What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the O Line Is podcast. Hope everyone is doing well. Hope everyone is holding up through this shutdown. It's a lot of hard times out here. Hope you got some good support systems. I know it's hard out here, so keep your head up. That's all I can say. Keep your head up. We got something new for y'all today. It's an interview with homeboy Is from my brother. And I think it's going to be a real good interview for y'all to check out. Definitely tune in, watch to the end. This is going to be part one. We got a part two coming up. So definitely check it out and make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Catch y'all.
I went up behind her. I started like putting my cock on her, you know what I'm saying? Like dancing on her, on her butt. And she turned around and said, "What the?" Bro, she started crying, bro. You know?
Well, time out. How the hell did you get up to the point where you were just shimmying on the festival, bro? Like, bro, what the hell?
Bro, so my dad always told me, he says, listen, you never let nobody hit. You never hit somebody first. You always let them hit you first, right? Before you swing. Right. I never understood that because to me, that doesn't make any sense. And I know how my dad grew up. He got 13 brothers and sisters. Well, him being the 13th, right? And he grew up where, they was beating each other, what I'm saying? He went through it.
For context, where was your father from?
From Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
From Pittsburgh,
yeah,
okay. Pittsburgh. Okay.
And so I remember one time I'm out here, me and this kid were like, bro, I'm like 8 or 9 years old, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And we're out there, bro. I don't know exactly how it started, right? But we start tussling, and then next thing I know, I hit him first, but I had DDT'd him, right? I wasn't big in wrestling, so I put him in my arm, and I bam, and I broke his nose, because blood was everywhere, it was all over my shirt, right? So I'm like, oh damn. Then his big brother starts running after him because he sees it. And I'll take off running. So I'm like, oh, damn, I got to go home. So I'm like, hoping my dad don't see me when I come in. I take my shirt off from upstairs in my room. I throw it under the pantry, up under the hamper. And I'm like, okay, man, I don't know what makes me think I'm safe at this time, right? Because I'm like, you think that his parents going to let that slide?
Right.
So the next time I hear the door, boom, 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 boom. I'm like, damn, bro. So then next and behold, bro, listen, man, and it was like this white woman, dog. Like, blonde hair come, right? And my father's kryptonite is blonde women, dog. You know what I'm saying? He loves white women, bro. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about, bro, he'll give his children up for a white woman.
Wouldn't be the first.
Yeah, he would put us on oh, man. But anyway, so next time I hear him talking, so he's like, James, come here. So I come down. I'm seeing in front of us, here go this white woman. And these two light-skinned kids, they light-skinned like me. And she's explaining, your son broke my son's nose, this and that. He was like, don't worry about it. When they left, he shut the door. And he told him I'll deal with it. Man, next time I know when that door shut, bro, he hit me. Bam! Hit me right in my face, dog. I'm 8, 9 years old.
Right.
This 30-year-old man hit me right, bro. All I know is I passed out. I went.
So what did that do for you? Because he gave you the stratagem or the game plan as it relates to dealing with conflict. He said, hey, don't put your hands on somebody unless they're a threat to you. So How did that mesh with your thinking after that?
At that moment when he hit me?
Yeah, at that moment. Because he asked no questions. It was
right into it.
Right into it.
Bro. Listen, to be honest with you, I couldn't think about it. I passed out.
Okay.
Bro, he hit me. All I know, I remember he grabbed my shirt, pulled me up, bam, bam, bam. Man, he wailed at me, bro, so all I could, bro. I thought I was going to die. You know what I'm saying? He hit me, bro. And listen, all I know is where I start crying, bro. Tears down my eyes. I'm angry, bro. I'm scared. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Then he's like, now you go apologize. And it made me run and go apologize to this kid, bro. You know what I'm saying? All because of this white woman, bro. You know what I mean? Had nothing to do with the fight.
Sure, it had nothing to do with the fight. Or the reason for the fight.
It had nothing to do with that. I know what it was. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so, bro, I ran down, I'm crying, man. I go apologize just like that, bro. But it just made me more and more hate him. You know what I'm saying? Because it made me fear him because that's what he built our relationship on. Me and my sister, my mom, it was all on fear. You're going to fear me. You know what I'm saying? Not respect. You know what I'm saying? Not love. It was just fear. And so
how did that relate to you getting in trouble later down the road to the consequences from him? Did you fear more consequences from him as opposed to whatever consequences you had to deal with, like maybe in school or anything like that? How was that sort of situation in your mind?
So it didn't make me fear him, or it just made me become more numb to things, right? That wasn't like the first. That was probably one of the worst scenarios because he caught me completely off guard and hit me right in my face and knocked me out.
Yeah.
But that was a regular. Like he regularly used to beat our ass. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
So he'll catch you coming out the shower. for whatever reason and just tear you up. You know what I'm saying? So it was never that. It just, I always felt like if I could survive the brutality of a grown ass man, there's nothing nobody else could do to me. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I mean? Like, so, like, even if I win, lose, or draw, there's nothing you can do to me because he is tearing my ass up. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I've seen him, like, I always relate when I seen Mike Tyson, when he was talking when Mike Tyson, they asked Mike, what's the hardest punch he threw? Said when he knocked Robin Givens out, right? When I read his book, said that was the hardest punch he ever threw. I never knew that. All right. Yeah, so I was like, because she knocked him clean off across the room, right? Yeah. That's how I remember seeing my dad do that to mom. Knocked her right out. She flew up in the air and landed on my sister. It was like holiday time and broke her little coffee table, right? Okay. My little sister's tea table. But yeah, this was regular, bro. We've left. Yeah, he. You know what I'm saying? It's funny. Yeah, he was like he was a demon.
So surely that impacted you. I'm sure it impacted your sister. At that time, how did you process seeing that physical abuse toward your mother? What did it make you think in terms of?
Oh, I wanted to end him because he never stopped. It was, you didn't know what you didn't know what was going to happen next. Okay. So it made me hate him more and more. You know what I'm saying? To this day, I don't have a relationship with him because at the end of the day, he's still the same person. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And instead of me hurting him, you know what I'm saying, I just choose not to be around him. You know what I mean? It's not because I can't change the past, right? Mm-hmm. But I realize I look at him and he has no remorse for anything. He makes excuses for everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at this man and I'm like, it's funny to me how grown. See, this is what gets me, man. And I've seen this from other male individuals in my family. They will treat you like shit when they're younger and you're younger. Mm-hmm. But when they get older, they want now the world to, like, you know, sympathize because they're old and brittle. Right, right. And I'm like, bro, like, no, I should fuck all y'all up. You know what I'm saying? Right. But reality is, you know, it's looking at them and I feel sorry for them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because what it made me realize, like, if I could survive this, there's nothing I can't survive. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Even going to prison, even being locked up, even being in some of the worst situations, even being in the streets, even being shot at, all these things, to be very honest with you, just numbed me. I was numb to it all. Like, it wasn't,
So at what point, so he was in your life till when?
Till I was 10.
Till you were 10.
Till I was 10. So my mom was going to leave him multiple times, right? Okay. That was the thing, but she really couldn't, you know what I'm saying? Because she loved this man, you know what I'm saying? In spite of everything. So the last time she was in Saudi Arabia and some things in Desert Storm. She was during that whole, you know, during Desert Storm time, because she was in the military. We were on a military base and some things had transpired and she came home and she was like, look, I'm done with you. And so she was like, I'm done. I'm leaving him. And next thing I know, I'm sitting there, bro, and I tell people all the time, it's like, you know, God will reveal himself years. And you know, I didn't believe in God a long time, but this is what made me, looking back, I realized God has always been in my life. Okay. One way or another is I was sitting there, we were going to go to a basketball game. It was right July, what was it? When's Valentine's Day? February 14th. February 14th, right? You know what I'm saying? Didn't realize that at the time, but when I got older, I realized, damn, it was on Valentine's Day. So I'm sitting there with my grandfather, my grandparents on my mom's side came down, and I'm sitting there, me and my grandfather about to go to the basketball. He about to take me to my basketball game. Okay. My mom and my grandmother at the house, and I hear the Spirit of God just tell him don't go. And I was like, bro, don't go, man, don't go. You know what I'm saying? And then he's like, no, I'm gonna watch you play. Said, tell him don't go. So I told him it happened 3 times. I'll never forget it, bro. I always thought it was weird because I was like, damn, people probably look at me like I'm crazy or I'm hallucinating. Yeah. In reality, I wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And because it happened to me years down the road again. I'll tell you about that later. But so we leave. We go to the basketball game. We come back. Hour later, so my dad had snuck him to the house. He had you know, those barrettes on the rifles that in the military they use. So he had took one. He walked and came in the house and he stabbed her to death. You know what I'm saying? Said, if I can't have you, no one can. And so he stabbed her to death. And then you know what I'm saying? And my grandmother tried to pick TV and throw it at him, you know, big old TVs and stuff like that. But yeah,
just to rewind the clock, were you actually in the room?
No, I was at the basketball game. Okay. And my sister was living with my aunt at the time. She was visiting my aunt at the time. So she wasn't even there. And my little brother, he was home, but he was just born. He was a baby, you know what I'm saying? He was like 2. Okay. And he came in, and apparently this is what my grandmother's telling me. is he came in the house. He said, if I can't have you, no one can, and just stabbed her to death and then tried to kill himself. Like a coward, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, if you was going to try to kill yourself, you should just did that. Like, take your life, move on, and let everybody else have a better life. Nah. So next thing we know, we came home, caution tape all the way around the house. You know what I'm saying? On military base, caution tape. The next thing I know, bro, it was a wrap. Nothing was never the same, anyways, from the life that because so much shit happened to me growing up. But that right there was, that was a change. That was a change. That was critical.
Right. And this is at age of 10. And
I was 10 years old.
Yeah, trying to just grasp the world as a little person at that point in time. Interesting. So, what happened from there after? So then, after your mother I'm assuming the breakup of the family, what took place?
So they were like, everybody was like, okay, what do we do with the kids? You know what I'm saying? Here you are, you got 3 kids now. Not everybody can handle 3 kids. Not everybody can handle the 2 kids or 1 kid they got. So everybody was like, you know what? They were like, well, we'll break them up. I'll take Chase, I'll take Sarah. And my aunt Karen, was like, nah, I'll take all 3 of them. Okay. And it's not been easy for her because you got to think about it. So my aunt, she has 1 son and, her husband. And, here you are bringing 3 kids that we're not bad kids, you know what I'm saying? But it's just 3 kids. And then here I am, it's like, I'm kind of like, your son is 3. Now you're bringing a 10-year-old in, you know what I'm saying, who's dealing with this. And so when we moved to Virginia, you know what I'm saying? We were on a military base in Kentucky. We moved to Virginia. So here we are. Fucked up, excuse my language. Yeah, I'm with coming there. And now you're like, okay, adapt to a new life. And so we went from there. We lived with my aunt, and now we're trying to figure out life in Virginia. Mom's like, you need to get counseling. You need to get counseling. Like, nobody understand me. I don't want no counseling. They don't understand. And so to me, it was like, it's funny because I was always really good in school. Really good in school. Right. You know what I'm saying? Always loved the girls, the ladies, you know what I'm saying? Always loved them, you know what I'm saying? But was never given a chance, I felt like, because, you know what I mean? Now I'm supposed to be like, everything's okay. Yeah. And so, so to me, that's when I started diving in really secretive things as far as in the streets, where people would never know. Okay. And I would just be doing all kinds of little crazy things and, things people wouldn't know. But it was like robbing, and I would be, you know what I'm saying, doing all kinds of sticking up people. You know what I mean? I was young. And, but I did it, and I loved it. I loved the street life. Like, I loved it. I didn't want to do a life sentence or death penalty, but I just loved it because I felt like, damn, I can make the world feel pain because of my pain. But I never, you know what it was? I'll tell you this. I never went after innocent people in a sense. I always, it was more street stuff. Okay. So I felt like, well, shit, they're doing it anyways. This is what comes along with it. Right.
Yeah. So obviously you're thrown into a situation that you couldn't predict at that age. You move out of Kentucky into now Virginia. Yeah. What was the grieving process like for you, or was there? Did you sort of bottle this emotion up of losing your mom and your dad? I'm assuming obviously he went to jail. Yeah. So how did like that immediate feeling? How did you process that, or was it just bottled up?
So I honestly was just bottled up because the thing is, I remember going to the funeral. I cried, you know what I'm saying? And I don't remember crying until I was 38, you know what I'm saying? Again, after that. Okay. And the thing is, like I said, earlier, is my childhood, I was numb to a lot of things because of the abuse my father was giving me. Sure. So when that happened, I felt like, well, what else can I do? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm messed up inside. Like, this stuff hurts. It got to a point that I stopped even remember I had a mom. Okay. Because I didn't want to relive this moment, because every time I did internally, it was killing me inside. And so, you know what I mean? Looking back, I was like, it wasn't until I was actually at her graveside, I think 38, that I, like, as soon as I was there, I broke down and couldn't stop crying. Okay. You know what I mean?
What was the relationship like with you and your mom?
Oh, that was my baby, man. My mom was mom. It's crazy. Like, when you hear the stories of mom, because she was the oldest of her 4, right? There was 4 kids. She was the oldest one. She was like, she used to always instill in me, you take care of your sister and your brother. It's like, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? This clown would teach me some stupid stuff. She was teaching me the gangster stuff. Right. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'll give you an example. I'll give you a story. So, excuse me. But my mom was always like, yo, you protect your brother and your sister no matter what. You know what I'm saying? You never take advantage. You never get over on them. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything. She was teaching me life lessons. And she never got mad at me for things. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what, bro, she was built, because that's how she was with her brothers. And like, she'd be the first to go to fight for them.
Yeah.
She was the sweetest woman in the world, you know what I'm saying? And it's funny when I've heard people try to say things in a different manner, like, she wasn't perfect. Yeah, she wasn't perfect, but she was perfect.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Right. What we can always find imperfections in each other. Mm-hmm. Like I remember one time, bro, my mom I believe she in heaven, bro. Like everybody, I tell her all the time, if anybody that knows me knows my mom is the one who keeps me safe. Because I should be doing a life sentence, bro. I should be far worse, should be worse. But it's funny because people that I say this people that have been around me would be like, nah, this and that. Because I was always good at like never letting the right hand know what the left hand was doing. I always kept what I did over here, and then I put up the smiles and the faces over here. You know what I'm saying? Because I always felt like if I'm gonna go to jail or something, I would have to tell them myself. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's gonna know.
Right.
So that's how we start, right? But long story short, I remember I was at church. I probably was like 9, maybe 10, you know what I'm saying, right before she passed. And my mom was going to church at that point, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember I was in church, bro. And, in Kentucky, man, you got them hillbillies and rednecks down there.
Okay.
So here it is, my mom, white woman, bring these 2 black kids, light-skinned kids to church.
Yeah.
And because we would cross over a little railroad tracks to get into Tennessee where the military base was at, because a lot of the housing was over there. So I remember this little fat white kid was like, man, your mom's a black bitch. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. I was like, calling her black. I was like, what, man? Shut up. And then I said, don't worry. After church, I'm going to handle you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Man, listen, bro. This kid had to be about 14 years old. You know what I'm saying? He was older than me, bro. You know what I mean? Man, listen, next thing I know, bro, we're outside in our church parking lot. We start fighting, bro. We're fighting, you know what I'm saying? Like this and that. So then his other homie wants to come and try to help him. Okay. So here I am, bro. I got the fat boy in the headlock over here. I'm over here trying to throw a punch over here. Yeah. I'm over here. I'm holding him like this. The pastor comes over there, white pastor, you know what I'm saying? And was like, break it up. I said, no, he called my mama black bitch. You know what I'm saying? Bro, my mom came over. She dusted me up. She said, you okay, boy? I said, yes, ma'am. I said, yes, mom. She said, okay, let's go home. Okay. Didn't bring it up, didn't say nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like my pops. Oh no, bro, he wanted to beat me. So there was stuff like that. I remember one time. This is when my mom was instilling. She was instilling greatness in me, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember one time my sister came to me and was like, Chase. Look what I got. I got Tooth Fairy. She had lost her tooth. Tooth Fairy. It's like I got some Tooth Fairy money, right? You know what I'm saying? I said, cool. Let me see. So she had about $1 and like 9 nickels and dimes. Mm-hmm. So I was like, can I have some? She was like, yeah. I said, look, give me all the dimes. They're smaller. The nickels are more. They're worth more.
Because of the size. Right.
Because of the size. Right. So she goes and tells my mom, not even thinking nothing about it. She's like, Mom, I gave Chase some money, whatever she told. Man, my mom has never put her hands on me, but this one time. My mom said, come here. She said, didn't I tell you you never get over on your sister or treat her bad or take advantage of her? I was like, yeah, Mom, put this and that. She said, no, shut that door. She said, she was like, I need you to understand. I can't remember exact words at that point, but she was like, I need you to understand. Man, my mom ain't even had to hit me, but once I broke down crying, dog. My mom smacked me. Oh, I'm so sorry. It wasn't because she hit me. It's because I had to make my mom do this to me, dog. You know what I'm saying? But she didn't raise her voice at me. She never corrected me. If I get in school in trouble in school, she never was like this. She's going to come to war for me. You know what I mean? And so, at that point, she was like, no, look, she's like, I love you. Don't ever do that again. You know what I mean? So it was those type of things that she was teaching me, bro. And they got robbed from me. You know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't teaching me nothing. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting. And so 10 years old, you're what? At fourth grade? Getting ready to go into 5th grade?
I was going into 5th grade.
Going to 5th grade? Okay.
I was actually in the 5th grade. I think
you was in the 5th grade, yeah. So then you hop into middle school. Mm-hmm. What was that like? What was that experience?
Middle school, well, I came here in elementary school, in Virginia elementary school in 5th grade. Uh-huh. And that was like, it was just different. You know what I'm saying? It was different. I was getting, same, just getting into little stuff here and there, getting into stuff like, causing a little rift. And then middle school comes and I'm getting in trouble every day. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to the principal's office all the time. Okay. I remember I came here. We went to Lake Ridge Middle. Okay. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I was always getting in trouble, bro. Like, that's when I met the fellas and stuff, met, a couple of homies. But Yeah, bro. I was always, bro. You never ate chase report to detention after school. Like, it was damn near every day, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then my uncle and my aunt, it was tough on them. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Then we moved and went to Woodbridge Middle. That's when I met some of the other homies. You know what I'm saying? I met the fellas. You know what I mean? You and your brother.
Yeah.
And then I started getting in trouble over there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it was just, yeah, it was. I don't know. I just. And I never liked bullies, bro. I think, that's one thing about my dad. If he taught me anything was made me hate bullies.
Okay.
So I didn't like when people try to put down on you, try to intimidate you, right? I didn't like when people picked on other people and stuff like that. I never liked that. So when people would try to pick on me, this gave me a reason to just stand up for myself. So, yeah.
Now, you mentioned your homies. How were you in terms of your commitment to them at that age? I mean, like what bonded you to those individuals?
Man, life just happened, bro. It was just it was just when I met the first homie, RP. It was basically my aunt and his mom were best friends. They still are to this day. You know what I'm saying? And he's the same age as me.
Okay.
Then I met him. He introduced me to a couple of the other homies that he was cool with, and then it just happened like that. Then I came to middle school, and
Now, did they have similar life experiences?
Nah, hell no.
No. So that made you feel then the odd man out a little bit, didn't it? Or
bro, to be very honest with you, it was like the first time I ever really had what I'm saying? Because when I was in military, you can't base and stuff. I had some homies and stuff that we used to hang out and stuff.
Yeah.
It was just more like it was like a family was being formed.
Okay.
And it wasn't even about that. Like, we didn't talk about our past. Like, we didn't talk about, it was just, I've been around them, as you got older, you started realizing what they've been through. But for the most part, it was more like we just kicked it, bro. And it was like, it just allowed me to take my mind off of what I had been through. You know what I'm saying? So it made me feel like I had walked in a part of something.
Right. Did you play any sports during this time?
I mean, I tried, but I couldn't do it because I didn't like people touching me. Like, people hit me.
Oh, okay.
First time somebody hit me on football, dog, and I wanted to whoop them, I said, yeah, I'm not playing football, dog, because if they hit me and I can't hit them back, I'm straight. Basketball, I just was undisciplined, bro. I didn't like authority. Coaches be yelling at you, bro. I knew I'd want to hurt them. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. I did run track. Track was really good for me because didn't have nobody screaming and yelling. It was just, I had all this energy, still have all this energy. Yeah. And it was an outlet for me, man. But I just started, I didn't do sports. I just didn't like authority, bro. So that's what it's always been.
Yeah. And so high school was like what for you?
High school was just more of it. What was high school like? I mean, I would say high school was fun because some of the best memories I have was, the fights, the run-ins with certain other people, you know what I'm saying? It was like, it made me, the females, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, that's when I was from my zone. Cause I think at 12, that's when I was starting feeling myself. Cause older girls were starting to let me know I'm like, yo, like, you cute, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I'm like, but high school was just more of it, man. It was more of, I like school. I was good at it. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, tests were no problem. I did well in it, but it was just like, I needed the chaos around me. Okay. So I would disrupt that with.
You wouldn't, not to cut you off, you wouldn't have any issue going from grade to grade to grade.
No, never had
in terms of scholastic achievements. Mm-hmm. You just, when it came down to getting in trouble, you were all about that.
Yeah, I was all about it. Okay. I just enjoyed it. And it wasn't like I would go after it. It was just like it would come to me and I would be like, okay. Yeah. It's like I had to realize this, and I had to realize this just recently. I've always had chaos in my life. Mm-hmm. My whole entire life, I've been fighting. Mm-hmm. I've been fighting something, right? You know what I'm saying? My whole entire life, bro, up until recently where I just had to go to court for a case. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, bro, I'm 45 years old. Mm-hmm. And it was because of a hit and run. I didn't hit him, but it was like I scraped up against this vehicle and I ended up tearing up with my truck. Okay. And I just left because I'm like, you know what I mean? I don't, police about to come, this and that. Yeah. But I'm like, bro, it's like my entire life has always had some form of chaos to the point where I'm just like, this is just normal. Okay. And I've looked at it because I'm like, okay, boom, it was nothing. Mm-hmm. I'm immune to it. Mm-hmm. I had to realize, bro, like, I got to stop.
Yeah. Now, usually what happens with the younger people who are more or less living a life where they're sort of getting into trouble and they seem led astray, what happens is they often find other groups of people who kind of are in that mix, so to speak. Did you have other, let's just say, older influences who did the same thing, and that helped you to sort of feel comfortable in that group, or is just all throughout middle school, high school, you were just the black sheep, so to speak?
Yeah, honestly, I was, bro.
Okay.
You know, that's a great point, man. Because you know what, like, I remember even one of my homies was over there. He was one of the homies, JU. He was about to link up with one of this other crew, right?
Mm-hmm.
That, you know what I'm saying, Vice Lords, right? You know, cats that was trying to get, you know, make a name for themselves. I was like, bro, why you hanging out with them lame ass dudes, bro? Dudes is whack over there, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I think what it was, bro, is like, I think for me, man, what it was because I've always liked chasing the ladies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like most of my homies I grew up with, bro, sports guys. You know what I'm saying? They play sports.
Gotcha.
So it was like, bro, so I always did that. So to me, it was like, it was crazy because the guys that I molded with, it was like they weren't afraid not to fight.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It was like, but they got a lot of a negative attention just because they was smooth dudes, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And I wasn't no slum, bro. Like I get into stuff, but I was a smooth dude, still am, right? So for me, it was like when I got around them, it was like, and it was cool, and I like to joke, and I like to laugh, and I like to do things. Even though I didn't play sports in school, I still played sports, right? You know, court, street ball and stuff like that. But it was just like, I don't know how I ended up with them or why, you know what I'm saying? And you know what I'm saying, but God had a plan within that, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But I was never drawn to like, I guess for me, and you know, as we fast forward, you know, when I moved to Florida, that's when things got even more chaotic for me.
Okay.
Right? It was more of an outlet for me to express the pain that I had in my heart.
Okay. So we're going back to high school real quick. So you finish high school, you graduate here.
Yeah.
What then happens after?
So then I'm like, I want to say one thing though, maybe then I'll answer that is, you know, I was thinking about it, right? Is like I think the initiation was because I was initiated through RP to RP,
okay,
because of my aunt's friend,
okay,
and I think that from that point, that's what drew it in,
okay,
right? And then, so I didn't even look back. Had I not met him initially, I probably would have went in other directions. You know what I'm saying? I think that helped neutralize me some, because by me being around them, it was kind of more of a positive impact for me. So I think what it did help me a lot, because these were positive guys. You know, they're playing sports, they're doing all this, they're making good grades.
What was their family structure like?
Well,
single parent, 2-parent households? Or?
Well, like, you know, you and the fam, you know what I'm saying? Yours, you know, two family, you know, real family oriented. Then RP's family, mother and father. Yeah. The rest of them, everybody was broken homes, you know what I'm saying? But it was like, but they were everybody, you know what I'm saying? It was just like they all was cool with each other, you know what I'm saying? So it was just like, I don't know, I think that what really did save me. That saved me a lot, I think, by me being introduced to RP, and then I started meeting everybody. You know what I'm saying? Then when I moved to Woodbridge Middle and I went there, then it was like, boom, hey, you know what I'm saying? They were like, oh, and then I seen them around them, and I'm like, okay, cool. And then now I start just, you know, blinging in. So I think that's what really did save me, bro, because had I not met them, I would have just been out here on a long mission, trying to figure it out, bro. I think it would have turned out ugly. So, you know, I never really thought about that, but looking back now. But what happened was when I got out high school, and I remember too, bro, the only reason I graduated high school was because of my aunt. They love my aunt. Everybody loved my aunt because she'd always be on my butt. You know what I'm saying? She, you know me. I remember one time, bro, I was in high school and the principal was there. I can't remember her name, bro. But
it sounds familiar.
You know what I'm saying? I had disrespected her, man. You know what I'm saying? Disrespected her. And but I went up behind her. I started like putting my cock on her. You know what I'm saying? Like dancing on her, on her butt. And she turned around and said, "What the?" Bro, she started crying, bro. You know.
Well, time out. How the hell did you get up to the point where you were just shimmying on the principal, bro? Like, bro, what the hell,
bro? But I went up behind her. I started like putting my cock on her. You know what I'm saying? Like dancing on her, on her butt. And she turned around and said, "What the?" Bro, she started crying, bro. You know.
Well, time out. How the hell did you get up to the point where you were just shimmying on the principal, bro? Like, bro, what the hell?
Bro, I said was, hey, I said, y'all want to see something? They were like, yeah. So I just, bro, how my mom be working, I be thinking about, like, what can I do next, bro? Like, what can I do next? Right. So I just go to that joint, I'm like this on her, bro, you know what I'm saying? Like, who does that? Why would I do
That's
that?
what I'm screaming. Yeah,
bro. Yeah. I was in school suspension, detention, IS, everything, bro. Anything but expulsion. And my mom was like, she's like, you did what? You did what, bro?
It's just a dare. It
was at not a prom, but it was what is those dances at school dances?
Okay.
It wasn't a dare. I just did it.
You just did it,
bro. I've never had to been pushed to do things. I would just do things. You know what I'm saying? Right. So it was always like, bro, I'll be sitting there, I think, yo, that joint be funny, bro. Let me just go do that joint. You know, so I'm like, yeah, that might, because me laughing was medicine to my soul. Sure. It helped me to stop not from crying and dealing with that stuff. Yeah. So I always found stupid stuff to get into. But yeah, they were about to expel me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Right. And they said, only because of your aunt, man, her husband wanted to come kill me, dog. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure.
Of course, bro. What real man wouldn't? You know what I mean? And so, then after. So, I mean, all kinds of things, man. Even we was getting death threats in school, you know, because we had gotten to a real big brawl out here, you know what I'm saying, with this one crew. And, you know what I'm saying, like, all that stuff is just like, and it's just funny because to me, it was like normal. This was like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Other people was like, yo, like, y'all seen that? Right. Just like, whatever. But it was like, yeah, it's all kinds. I got a bunch of stories like that. Yeah. But fast forward though, so I'm like, well, I gotta do something. I don't want to go to college because I don't like sitting in class. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And if I go to college, all I'm gonna do is holler at chicks and fail anyway. So I'm not gonna pay attention. Sure. That's all I'm gonna do. And so I was like, yo, so I was like, I'm gonna go to Army. Mm-hmm. So I went to the Army. Went through basic and AIT. And it was cool. You know, met some great dudes. Always been good at that. Like, you know, personality wise, just been pretty like that. So I met good people. Yeah. And I remember, I was in there. They had sent me to Korea. Okay. So I was about to go AWOL. I was like, Korea? I'm not going to damn Korea, dog. You know what I'm saying? So they sent me to Korea, and I'm over there. And what they say, man, you could take the dude out the projects, but you can't take the projects out of them, dog. Listen, bro. I'm running from Korean police. I'm all kind. Oh man, listen, I'm in Korea. So I'm in Korea, bro. I get to Korea. I got these two homies, right? Yeah. They down for whatever. One from Maryland, Asian dude from Maryland. That was my man. And then this other dude I used to call Jay Reed, right? From because you remember the movie with L Cool J when he was Kingpin. Yeah. Oh man, what was it? But the dude in New Jersey, yeah. Based in New Jersey. Yeah. And so the dude, Mike Phelps was whatever the name is, but anyways. They called him Jay Reed, right? Mm-hmm. So my man that's what everybody called him. I was like, Jay Reed, you know what I'm saying? So I was like, it was just funny, but we used to always hang with each other. And so I remember one time we're in a Korean cab, right? You know what I'm saying? So Adishi's in the cab. That's what they call the Korean guys. Okay. So we're in the cab. Dude's got a stack of won, which is their money called stack of money on his dash. And I'm like, yo, he feels safe. What you think? I didn't fly over here. I said, bro. They said, bro. All right. I said, look, bro, we already knew what it was. Man, listen, bro, I grabbed that stash. My man, the dude grabbed my arm. My man came from behind. Boom, hit him right. You know what I'm saying? We jumped out that joint, took off running. Korean police was chasing us down. We jump on the Korean bus. And just like, and I break my boys off, you know what I'm saying? Like this and that, bro. It was stuff like that, dog. Like I remember.
So you guys never got caught?
No, I never got caught. Oh, no, we be doing Korean time, but no, never got caught, bro. We never got caught. I mean, it was just like, it was stuff like that, dog. And then it was like, I remember one time. So there's what they call a curfew. They got curfew times over there where you got what it was. I had a curfew because I had got in trouble with and so I wasn't supposed to leave the base. So my commander and them was like, you're not allowed to leave the base. You need to be, if you leave anywhere, you be back at this time. So I can't remember what I got in trouble for because I used to. I didn't get caught for that, but one of the things that I did. But anyways, so I'm in the Korean village, right? I'm in the Korean village. So you know what I mean? So you got a military base right here where Korean people live, but then you got the Ville. Sure. Right? So it's after time. I can't get back on. It's 12 o'clock. They don't let you on at a certain time, right? On certain days. So I'm like, fuck. I'm like, what am I do? So I'm like, bro, all I'm thinking is like, I got to get back because if I'm not back by a certain time, I'm done. You know what I mean? Right. Bro, all I did was I climbed on the Korean houses and they're like little shacks, you know, with the metal roofs you see on TV. Yeah. So I'm climbing on the roofs, but they only got a beam because I'm about to jump over the wall, the military wall, and get over and get in a taxi and go. Bro, I'm on the house. I climb up on the house. Next thing I know, I fall through, right? and I fall through with my nuts in the joint. I was like, oh, so I hit the beam, right? So my legs are dangling, right? My nuts, I didn't cut my leg. I'm glad I didn't bust one of my nuts, right? The next thing I know, you hear the creeper, like this,
you serious?
Bro. It's like 2:00 in the morning, something like that.
Oh man,
bro. I climb up on the joint, bro. I'm shimmying, you know what I'm saying? I climb over the wall, bro. I'm like doing everything you're not supposed to do.
Yeah.
Bro, I get in the taxi. I'm like, yo, take me to the base. Next thing I know, I pass out, bro. I wake up, pool of blood sitting on the chair. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Then I had to walk, and they call it it's like a 2-mile walk. So then I had, because there's no taxis running.
Okay.
Bro, then I had to walk 2 miles to get to the base.
Okay.
Bro, it was crazy, man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
So did they let you in the base when you got there?
Well, yeah. Once I'm on there right there, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I was good right there. But
let me go back to basic though, man, because you talked about authority and how you didn't mesh well with the authority, especially with regard to sports and stuff like that. How was basic for you when you're fresh out of high school? I mean, rough around the collar or neck is just that's your middle name. Like, so what was basic like?
I mean, basic was cool because it wasn't like I knew what I was going into. So it wasn't like this is their job, right? Like these are drills. So I ain't really, long as he don't intentionally target me, I ain't had no problem. I mean, there was a few times they smoked me because they were like, I was talking back or saying something that I shouldn't have been saying, you know what I mean? In their opinion, I was saying something I shouldn't have been saying. But I was more like, to me, it was more like, you know what I mean? It was cool. Like I had some homies, we hung out, we would just get into stuff, we'd have fun, you know what I mean?
Okay, so you made it through without
and plus it was physical. So it was like, yo, like I always had all this energy anyways.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just an outlet. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't bad. I mean, there was a few times I had run-ins and stuff like that.
Okay.
I remember even when I got to my base in Korea, when I was in Korea, I had to follow my captain and stuff like that. But it was like, I don't know, it was just like, just kind of was, it didn't really bother me too much.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, a few times that it did, and then I would say something, and then I would get smoked, and I have to do 1,000 push-ups, like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it was cool, man. I met some good people there, man. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
So Korea was, how long were you in Korea?
So I was in Korea for about, not even a whole year, I think. 10 months. I got kicked out. I got kicked out from Korea. So 10 months. I was probably about 10 months.
Oh, okay.
So I worked in the post office, right? And at this time, so when I got there, I was always outward. I always didn't mind talking to people, but I was more introverted growing up. Most people wouldn't believe it, but I didn't like just going out, just meeting people.
Yeah.
Like it would just have to happen. Like I wasn't like, hey, you want to be my friend?
Yeah.
It just, I'd be by myself chilling. You know what I'm saying? And, buddy might say something, and then shit, we end up being cool as hell, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it'd just be like that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's how I always met most of the people I knew. It was never like I was chasing friends, you know what I mean?
Okay.
So, but yeah, so we were in Korea, so worked in the post office, right? So how it happened was when I was in basic, right? You got AIT school and stuff. So I was in AIT, which is your schooling. So I chose to be in administration, right? I qualified to be a truck driver, work in the kitchen, or be infantry, or do admin work, which I hated to do. The thought about that,
right?
Because I'm like, bro, I don't even have the attention span right now. My mind be all over the place. I don't like when I'm supposed to type something up, but I did it anyways. I was like, I'm not going to be in the field all day. This I know.
Okay.
If you work in the kitchen, you go into the field.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not trying to be out there funky as hell.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be infantry. I don't need to be a train killer. You know what I'm saying? I don't.
Right.
That's what I'm gonna do when I come. So then I was like, no, I don't want that. And then driving trucks. All of y'all going to war. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I kept thinking. Like, y'all are going to war. I'm not going in the admin office. They're not sending no admin people with a rifle. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I'm thinking. So then I'm there and I meet this female bro from Texas. Beautiful, homie. You know what I'm saying? Like every part of my life, I always had this one woman I always remember. It takes me back, right?
Okay.
But it's one. And so, I was in love. You couldn't tell me nothing, homie. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, all right, we're looking for some people to go to postal school. That means you're going to stay 5 more weeks in South Carolina, Fort Jackson, right? And I was like, what? I get 5 more weeks with Shorty? Yeah, sign me up. You know what I'm saying? So then I went to post, and plus I was like, I don't want to do no admin work anyways.
Was she in the military too?
Yeah.
Okay.
She was in the military too. And so I had so then I stayed there 5 more weeks, and yeah, bro, best time of my life, homie, with her at least. And then they sent me to Korea. You know what I'm saying? So then then they sent me to Korea. But yeah, it that was cool for me.
Okay. So you getting kicked out?
Oh yeah.
How'd it happen?
So, all right, I said I'll say this postal school. When I went to Korea, you know, and there was this unspoken hustle that everybody in the post office was doing that was behind the cash register.
Okay.
So you had your people that put boxes up, then you had your people your guys that would bring when you would ship a box off from Korea, you have to go to the postal clerk, weigh it, then they would pay for it and they would send the box. Then we give it to the other people in the back and they'd send the box off.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
So they used to have these old meter machines, right? You'd put the little lever. If it was $150, and anything coming from Korea, most of the time was about $80 to $200. It wasn't no cheap little thing, right? Because people were sending because you're sending big items from Korea. It's cheap.
Sure.
So you put let's say $100, 100, or let's say 115. So you do 1, 1, 5, and it'll be 0, 0. So then they weigh it. Then you'd pull the lever. This little sticky thing would come out. You would wet it, put it on the box, and then you stamp it with your seal so if they ever needed to know who shipped that box, they can put it on you, right? You know what I mean? Okay. So what we would do, right, when I finally got hip on, right, I was like, damn, how these cats making all this money? Jokers ain't lit. They same rank as me. How they balling? Okay. Bro, listen. What they would do is put the box, instead of put 115, they would put $15. Pull the lever, the sticker note could come out, then you put it on the box, and then what you do is you smudge out the price so you can't see. So there's no paper trail. And that meter, all it does is keep rotating. It doesn't show each transaction. They weren't, bro, this is old school. Didn't show each transaction. It just shows like $115, $100, $300, $400. It just tallies it up. So, bro, I was making like $600 to $1,000 every day doing that. You know what I mean? Wow. It's stupid money. Just stupid, bro. Like 5 days a week I was working, I was doing that, bro. Okay. So what happened was they were going to send me to Fort Hood, Texas. So I had my son at this time, right? You know what I mean? Didn't know I had a daughter yet, right? But I found out later, but I had my son this time.
Was it from the girl that you had an interest in?
No. Okay. This was from back in Virginia when I was in Virginia. Okay. But so I had my son. So now they were going to send me to Fort Hood, Texas. So they were going to send me to Fort Hood. I'm like, shit, I'm not going to Fort Hood, Texas. My son, bro. I want to at least be near my son. Right. So I go to the range one day, and I'm qualifying. And so what happened was they had some issue with the boxes. So then they went back and started looking at the boxes, not for the prices. They had no idea what was going on still. They started, wait a minute, $15, $30. Every damn box was like that. And my homies that was doing it taught me, stop smudging the price out because they got cocky. You know what I'm saying? So now all of them are getting kicked out of the military, right? You know what I'm saying? Right. And say, did you know? I'm like, hell no, I didn't know they was doing that. Why did I know? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, nah, I ain't know that. Bro, then I start thinking, they're about to send me to Fort Hood, Texas, bro. I said, shit, I just want to do. I'm gonna keep racking that money up. They don't know how we were doing it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep racking that money. So I sent like 40 grand home. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Sent it home to somebody that I trusted. Sent them 40 grand. Said, look, open an account for me. Here's money. I was sending money orders home. Sent them 40 grand. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, shit, I'm gonna get home. I had the Tahoe truck that I wanted picked out, bro. I was gonna get me an apartment. I had everything, all this furniture, all this stuff, these TVs, Dreamcast at the time, had all this stuff. I didn't need nothing. So I was sending all that home. And then I went to him and said, look, I had something to do because I wanted them to kick me out. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted them to kick me out because I wanted to go home to Virginia. You know what I mean? I didn't want to go to Texas. So I literally went to them and told them.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
You told them. Yeah. That you were involved. Yeah. And embezzling money from the U.S. government.
It's on my record too.
Okay.
Embezzling of government funds.
Do continue, sir.
and at the time, I thought it was the most brilliant idea in the world because I was like, I got 40 racks at the house. Yeah. Sitting in a bank account. I already got everything I need for my apartment. All I need to do is get my truck and this. And I was like, yo, and then I'm going to come home and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? I ain't even care. I just didn't want to be in the military no more, right? You know what I'm saying? Because I knew they were about to send me to Fort Hood, Texas. I don't want to go to Fort Hood, Texas. You know what I'm saying? I'm like trying to be home with my son. Okay. You know what I mean? That's what I want to do, right? So I tell them, they're like, what? You had something to do it? But I had already prepped everything, sent everything home, got everything lined up. And then it was like, cool. All right, where I sign. You know what I mean? That's how I'm thinking. Where I sign. It don't work out that way. Bro, but I'm gonna tell you why it didn't work out that way, right? This is not because everything went as planned as I said. Had no problem signing out. You know what I mean? I didn't get locked up or nothing like that. But they signed. They gave me a other than honorable discharge, right? Okay. You know what I'm saying? And they gave me, and my commander at the time, because I had disrespected him, he gave me a bad conduct attachment to it,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
So that gave me a bad conduct, and so that means I have to go through a bunch of loopholes to get my general discharge. You know what I'm saying? Didn't know that. So I was like, cool. So then I was like, well, shoot, I'm gonna go out and work in the post office, right? So I'm gonna tell you in a minute, but I go to apply and I missed the test for the post office, right? I would have got the job, you know what I'm saying? But then I didn't know I just needed a letter from my commander and them, and I would have got a job automatically.
Sure.
So that's how I was thinking. I'm gonna work in the post office, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But this is the dilemma. When I come home, I go to my people that I sent the money to, that I trusted highly. I say, yo, let me get the debit card. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go get some money, you know, whatever. So I go to my bank account and there's negative 15 cents in there.
Out of 40K, you said
40 stacks, yo. I came home, bro, and it was negative 15 cents in my bank account. Hey, bro, you talk about hot.
So let me back up real quick. How long were you saving this money for?
How long was I saving it?
Yeah.
Bro, literally, I went hard. I saved it for maybe about a month, bro. You know what I'm saying? About a month, bro.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so it was like I had planned it because it was a process to get them out.
So there obviously were a lot of shipments being processed by you, and I mean you were taking opportunity.
Yeah, I would say it was like it was between 35 and 40. So it's like I think like 38. Last time I remember it was about 38. But I was making a lot of because they didn't think I had nothing to do with it. And now that the fact that the people who was up there, they shorthanded. Yeah. So guess who's picking up all the slack?
That's you. Right.
So guess what I'm doing? Running that bag up.
Running
that bag up, bro. Running it up hard. You know what I'm saying? But they were still making like $2,000. So I was making like $2,000 every day. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Like $1,500, $2,000. I was doubling my money. Because before I was doing 600, 1,000 because and when I was doubling up, it was during Christmas time. Okay. So at this time, people are sending way more packages.
Absolutely.
Before I couldn't do $2,000 because it was not as busy, but it was busy.
Right.
The post office would make $1,500 from me. I'd make 600 to 1,000 for myself, you know what I mean? So they should have been getting 2,600, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So at this time, bro, it's me and an Asian Korean lady working there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just running that joint up, bro. I'm like, yo, putting envelopes, sending it home, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. So when you get home, you go to the bank.
Yeah, I go to the bank, yo.
What was the reaction that? I mean, heads had the roll at that point in time. What went on?
So without me saying who the person was, right? It was somebody that I really truly trusted. Okay. With all my heart. And all they had to do was tell me they needed some money. I would give them half. Okay. And they didn't. I didn't see a dime. Okay. Then they denied it when I came home. They said, no, I didn't spend none of it. They denied it. What can you do? You can't beat this person up. Yeah. I could, but not this person.
Right.
So it broke my heart, live with it. You know what I'm saying? Now what do I got to do now? I got to fucking figure it out. So what I do, I start getting little jobs, odd-end jobs. Now I'm staying with people that I didn't plan on staying with. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Now I'm robbing, and you know, I'm doing everything I don't want to do. You know what I'm saying?
So your son is born. Mm-hmm. You said you had a daughter on the way?
Yeah, I found out I had a daughter when I had a daughter when I came home.
Okay. You don't have a job at the post office. What's the first gig you run into in Florida?
Oh, so I didn't even make it to Florida yet. I wasn't even in Florida yet. Florida didn't even come. Florida didn't come for like 2 more years.
So you went back to Virginia?
Yeah, I came back to Virginia.
Okay.
Then I was staying with one of my other aunts. She's not my blood, but I was staying with one of my aunts like that. And that was a pain because she's like, yo, I need money. You need to pay me this and that. I'm like, yo, I ain't even got no money, man. Like this person stole my shit. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So, and it was like, bro, and it was like, if anybody else, dog, I would have heard him, bro. Like I already knew anybody else, but I was like, I wouldn't have sent no money to anybody else. And then thinking back, I'm like, well, my thing was, I just didn't want to get caught with all that money here. So, you know, I could have been like, yo, because I don't know what they're going to do. If they're going to search me, take all my stuff. I don't know what they're going to do. Right. And I don't want to get caught with all these envelopes. You do these money orders. So I was like, well, best thing I could do is send it home to my people. Mm-hmm. And if they need some, just let me know. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. No, it didn't work like that. So I come home and I'm getting a job. So I got a job working at this hardwood store, like laying hardwood floors. Mm-hmm. I know nothing about this stuff, man. Mm-hmm. But I drive. So I'm working for this redneck white dude. You know what I'm saying? He's just disrespectful as hell, bro. Mm. So then I was working for him for a while. And then so I take the vans and stuff like that. So next thing I know, I'm getting kicked out because she's getting tired of me. And she's like, yo, you got to leave. And wow. So I'm like, all right, cool. So he's disrespectful. He's disrespecting me. He said something slick threw this pumpkin at him, bro. I was about to whoop him, you know what I'm saying, this and that. So I'm calling the police, get out of here.
Okay.
So
this is your uncle?
No, this is my first job with hardwood floor.
The first job, okay.
The first job coming back from the military.
Yeah.
So I worked for doing hardwood floors, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And so he fired me. And then one day I was like, yo, my aunt was kicking me out. So I was like, yo, he's got these vans. So I go break into these vans, you know what I'm saying? I go break in his vans. But when I break into it, like one of them, I ended up cutting myself. I slashed myself somewhere. I got like a scar here. My arm went through the glass and blood everywhere, bro. You know, but I was like, yo, I'm bleeding. Wrap my arm up. I'm putting saws, guns, nail guns. And I had like a little car. So I had a little car, right? You know, it's one thing. It's funny. I probably shouldn't say certain things, but like, yo, what? So, but I started putting everything in this little Toyota car that I had, you know what I'm saying? Because I was like, yo, I'm just going to pawn this stuff. It was before people were getting caught for pawning stuff, like, you know, but nobody, it wasn't big like that, you know what I mean? So next thing I know, I'm like, damn, yo, like, I gotta, you know, I need to go to the hospital. I'm losing a lot of blood, you know what I'm saying? So I go to the hospital, like, yo, what happened? I was like, yeah, this dude tried to rob me. You know what I'm saying? He tried to rob me. He tried to rob me. He asked me for some money. He tried to rob me with a knife. I fought him off. He cut my arm. You know what I'm saying? That's what I told him.
Yeah. You
know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then, you know, so then they didn't, it never came up, you know, never found out like that. I don't think they did a DNA test or anything, but yeah, I didn't go to jail for that. And how I got the car, because I had to get a car.
Yeah.
So I know I still had my military car ID. You know what I'm saying? I still had my last pay stubs from the military.
Okay.
So I go to the dealership. I'm like, yo, I'm trying to buy a car. And I had good credit because I didn't even know what credit was at the time.
Yeah.
And I'm a vet.
Yeah.
But I ain't got no job for real. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So they gave me a car. Said, look, this is what you can afford. Like, cool.
Okay.
I just got the car like that.
Okay. Wow. So how you get to Florida?
How to get to Florida? So I come home. I'm in and out of jail for stupid stuff. And I'm like, I can't keep doing this. This is stupid, yo. Like, I'm in and out of jail like damn near every other month or something like that. And I'm like, yo, I'm getting out. I do maybe a week or 2 weeks, then boom, back out. Just stupid stuff. Okay. And so then
now was any type of drugs involved, alcohol involved, or this is?
I mean, I was smoking weed and drinking. You know what I'm saying? Mainly smoking weed though.
Okay.
It wasn't even a big alcoholic.
Yeah. This is around what, early 2000s?
Yeah, this was. So I got originally locked up 2002. Okay. So this was, I got locked up in 2002. So this was right at 2000. Okay. So honestly, I said 2 years later. From the time I got out the military to the time when the floor was probably about a year. And within that time, it was like all kind of chaos was going on. Yeah. So then I go to Florida. And I'm down. So I hit my sister up. She's in the military. I'm like, yo, sis, I gotta get away, yo. Right. I can't keep doing this. You know, I got nowhere to go. Right. And at the time, I got I got a little apartment. I was working a little job, BS jobs. You know what I'm saying? And I got a little female holding it down for me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, yo, I can't do this no more. I gotta get up out of here. So I'm like, yo, give me a fresh start. So she's like, yeah, come on down there. I'm thinking I'm going to Florida. Yeah. So I'm thinking sunny. I'm just in Jacksonville. I don't know if you know about Jacksonville.
Yeah, I know a little bit about Jacksonville.
It get cold, bro. It's Georgia. Look, bro, I'm not even hip. Right. Man, I go down there with no winter clothes. You know what I'm saying? Really? Man, I got the jeans and the jacket I got on, bro, but the rest of my clothes, I'm like, I'm bringing all summer clothes.
You expecting open-toe sandals and shorts.
I'm about to lean back. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I get down that joint, I'm like, what the where am I, yo? Like, what is this? Bro, I hated it. Right. I hated it, bro. But got down to Jacksonville. And so I'm in Jacksonville, so I get me a little job. I'm working like 2 jobs. Okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm working 2 jobs. And me and my sister had a falling out. So she ended up kicking me out.
You guys are in an apartment?
Yeah, an apartment. She has a 1-bedroom apartment. I'm sleeping on the couch. Only thing I do is I go work 2 jobs and I come home, I hit a J, I smoke. That's all I'm doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But she can't stand that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, and I don't smoke in the house. I smoke outside, but she's like, the smell of it just drives me crazy. Right. But her boyfriend smokes, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, it's crazy. It's just craziness. So during this time, I meet this dude who cooks crystal meth. You know what I'm saying? They had a time they call it bathtub crank because it's not like pure crystal, but it's that junk that do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? So I meet him, and then I'm like, this part and this time right here. So, and this is the crazy part, bro. When I'm working, I don't spend no money. So I'm just racking up checks. You dig what I'm saying? I don't spend money on it except for weed, bro. I gotta get a dude that cop a bag, joint from. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saving money. Yeah. So my sister kicks me out. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna be all right. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that money go fast, homie. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So then I hit one of the homies up that I grew up with.
Yeah.
His mom found out that I was coming to live there. You know, because they were in college. They were at FAMU. And so his mom found out. It's like, nah, Chase ain't staying there. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what you mean? You like an auntie? You like a mama to me?
Right.
She's like, nah, boy, you get in too much trouble.
Yeah. She already knew the drop. She had to drop on you.
Bro, I was like, what? Bro, shocked me. Yeah. I said, I can't do, bro. And I was like, bro, why you tell your mom?
Okay.
He's like, because she paid for everything.
Okay.
I said, bro, you ain't got to tell her though.
Yeah.
Man, that joint broke my heart, dog. I said, damn. So then I hit my homie up, the white dude. So he's from Arkansas.
Okay.
So, bro, we start making trips to Arkansas, Memphis area, bro. We going out there, bro. We copping, you know what I'm saying? Like, we copping, like, you know what I'm saying? We stealing, like you need the what is that chemical? Man, it's been a minute, but anyways, when you're making it, you need a certain type of chemical that they use like on cotton and stuff like that.
Okay.
So we're going out there, bro. We getting pills. We taking up there. We cooking batches. So we get here the pills and everything we need. We would go to Arkansas and we would cook batches of crystal. You know what I'm saying? Bathtub crank.
Yeah. So what was that like? I mean, just the whole experience of cooking it up, because I understand how toxic it can be.
Oh, right?
It can be very toxic.
Bro, it don't explode and everything.
Explosive, yeah.
Bro.
So what was that like? Were you aware of how explosive it could get from Jump Street?
You know, so you know it, but you don't know it because you've never seen it. So I never seen nobody blow up or the house blow up.
Yeah.
But you know it can. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So to me, I just always felt like, I don't think about it, ain't gonna happen.
Right,
so
right.
I don't think about it.
Okay.
So we would go, but and I would be in the lab, dog. And when I used to see that joint mix, I used to be like, yo, shit was crazy to me, dog.
Okay.
But being around addicts though, so it's like when I moved to Florida, when I moved to Florida is when I, being in Virginia, right? It ain't like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like the people that get in trouble stand out most of the time, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
When I used to go to do dirt in DC and stuff like that because it was a little more grimier. But when I moved to Florida, that shit was like a life-changing experience, dog, to the worst.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything that was in me that would have came out before, but it wasn't because of my homies, was coming out of me now. And it was like, bro, and it was just more like I was more like you like there was a blackness in my eyes, bro. It was getting worse for me. But I was going there. We would cook it, come back, and we'd sell it. Okay. I never really used it. I've tried a couple times, but never. Okay. I always was weed or alcohol. You know what I'm saying? Never appealed to me.
What were those trip like? I mean, because Arkansas to Jacksonville, Florida. Okay, so you would take the bus.
Yeah, we take the bus.
Okay.
There was some journeys.
There was some journeys.
Oh yeah, there was some journeys, bro. But
any close calls or not?
Oh, so the last time, yeah. Well, so all right, last time we was there, so he was wanted from the Arkansas police. You know what I'm saying? So we had to be really low key. Yeah. So when the first couple times we went to, so we used to go to different hotels, and we after we batch everything up, we'll go to the hotels and just lay low and plan our trip for the next day. So I remember one time we was out there, bro, and these dudes had peeped us coming. They had a bunch of fiends outside 9 and stuff, but I guess they peeped. They were clocking us. Okay. So like we would come back, they would notice we come in and stay 3 days, then we'd come back, stay at the same hotel. And so one of them, they tried to rob us, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, we was like, yeah, it was getting crazy. And so people were hating on him, you know what I'm saying? But being around people who do crystal meth, they'll be up for 30 days, you know what I'm saying? Like they won't eat, they won't sleep, they won't do nothing, bro. They just on it, homie. Right. And then they just get more paranoid. So my homie was getting more on it. He was getting more paranoid. I would only try it once in a while because you would smoke it because of the females. It makes them go crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. So, but I would do that like little party joke with the females, and then I would sell the rest. You know what I mean? Sure. But I remember we found out that they found out he was back in Arkansas. You know what I'm saying? Somehow. So I left early. I said, bro, I'm gone. He said, nah, bro, I'm gonna stay. I gotta meet up with my Mexican homie. He's gonna give me 5 pounds of weed. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna bring it back with me. That joker never made it home, dog. He got on a high-speed chase and ended up going to jail. I haven't heard from him in years, and they ain't thought about him. I ain't trying to connect with you. Sure. So yeah, he go to jail. So then I come home, and I come back, bro, and I'm just like, yeah. So I'm just like, now start just selling crack. You know what I'm saying? Cocaine and stuff like that. Robbing, pulling little licks in and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Trying to find a little job, but you know what I mean? Just man, I would, yeah.
Yeah. Now, unlike Virginia, where you said you didn't have people who were in the same sort of crime scene as you were. Jacksonville is totally different.
Totally different.
So there were more people who were on the time that you were on. What was it like navigating in that type of environment?
Oh man, that joint was, it's toxic as a mug, bro. Like when you know, because what you gotta think, right? It's one of those things to where I'm not living a saint life. Like I'm not going to live in a working job. I'm coming home. Nah, I'm plotting on how I'm gonna make, what the next lick is, right? Like that's what I'm doing. And then I start meeting people, but I'm not meeting corporate America people. I'm not meeting athletes. I'm not meeting people that play ball and stuff like this. We all graduated, you know what I'm saying? I mean, dudes, they doing the same thing I'm doing, you know what I'm saying? And we help them, hey, bro, you got a lick? Yo, hey, I got this lick, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember I get put up on a lick, you know what I'm saying? I got 2 homies, and they're like, yeah, bro, he got a whole refrigerator full of pounds of weed in that joint, bro. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, all right, cool, shit. I hit my homie up. We got a 12 gauge. We got a sawed off. We got a 45. And I think we had another blunt, right? We go to the house. You know what I'm saying? This is the crazy part. So we go to the house. Dude ain't even there. So we peeping in the window to see what's going on. He ain't even there. He happens to peep. He comes home while we're in the middle about to break into this joint, and he peeps us. He said, bro, and takes off. I'm like, yo, we got like 2 minutes to get whatever we need to get. Right. Bro, we shoot the back glass out. You know what I'm saying? We shoot the back glass out. We run in the house. Right. Ain't no refrigerator in the garage. Ain't no pounds of weed in the garage, dog. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing. We're going through everything, bro, trying to find nothing. But my man got every jersey in the world brand new, man. I said, bro, I'm not leaving this joint without something. You know what I'm saying? Right. Bro, I got this Big Ben. I throw that's when jerseys was popping, dog. I'm talking about he got the authentic ones. Tag still on. Bro, I throw every jersey and I can in there, hats, tennis shoes, Jordans, everything, bro. So then I'm running down the street with this big old bin filled up to this high with stuff, like running, bro, like get in the car. I'm like, yo, it's looking stupid as a mug, but then I throw it again and we skirt. We go to the house. So then we over that joint, we over there, and my guy was like, yo, bro, let me get this. I said, bro, y'all not getting nothing. I said, bro, you told me that joint was filled with this. You didn't get nothing. I said, bro, you get nothing. You can have what I don't want. I'll give you what I don't want. You know what I'm saying? Right. Like, I'm not like, bro, like, there's no, like, here it's like, all right, bro, no problem. Yeah, I got you, bro. Go ahead. Sure. There? Nah, bro, you don't get shit. Nah, you know what I'm saying? Nah, bro. So it was more, it was more like, and I got to really thank God, because God spared me young. You know what I'm saying? When he put me in the path of people who had hope. Potential. You know what I mean? When I went to Florida, bro, it was like, nah, bro. Like, I remember I'm walking down the street one day. Bro, and I'm with this chick. No, I shouldn't have been with this chick, dog. She wasn't no good. You know what I mean? And her name was, I ain't gonna say her name, but we got an argument. We was drunk, argument. I think she was drunk. I don't think I really was. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I really didn't get drink like that until I got like older. But I would drink, like occasionally here, but I always smoke, you know what I'm saying? And she was walking off. I'm like, yo, like, I don't want her to get snatched up. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yo, come back. I'm screaming that joint. Next thing I know, these dudes, they're up on the top. They think I'm yelling at them. They run down on me, bro. It's 5 of them. You know what I'm saying? They run down, swarm me like, what you talking about? I said, bro, look, do what the fuck you want to do and move on so I can go get my girl, bro. Y'all tripping. Hurry up, man. Let's go. Dude looked at me, bro. Spanish dude looked at me, dog. I was dead serious, bro. Like, get this over with. It ain't the first time I fought more than one person. Right, you know what I'm saying? Like, so to me, I never fought 5 people at one time. But I'm like, shit, what's the worst you can do? They ain't did it yet. You ain't gonna do it. Right. Man, buddy said, bro, what? Bro, I ain't never heard that before, bro. What, you ain't scared? I said, bro, do what the fuck you gonna do so we can move on. I gotta go get my girl. Bro, dude was a gun runner, bro. You know what I'm saying? He was, man, he had all the guns you want, bro. Like, he was just connected, you know what I'm saying? But to me, it was like, I've always lacked trust in people. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't like I wanted to get in. It wasn't like I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get in that life with you, bro. You know what I'm saying? But nah. It was just, so I just never, like, I hit him up a couple times on some, see what's up. But I was like, nah, bro, like, I just don't trust nobody. So I don't just bring people around me, you know what I'm saying? And it wasn't like something that I was like, yeah, I want to, jump on this bandwagon, because I also felt like, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was in a dark place. Sure. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I knew it was just going to keep getting worse for me. You know what I'm saying? In a sense. So I barely could handle what I was dealing with at the time. I knew that would have been. Yeah. So in our next meetup, we've got to pick up exactly where you are right there in Florida, where it seemed like you were definitely in that dark place. Oh, bro, 100%. Because there's more to it. Yeah, way
that
more.
goes way more that goes on to it. And so, yeah, I think
Vamos clareza a vida, vamos